Have you ever thought, man, I want to do this content, but I don't have a friend to do it with, and there's no group that is running it. Why don't you make your own group? I want to make my own group, but I don't know where to start and I'm scared. Well, I hope this video can help you. Hello, my name is Fanacidor. I used to play Lost Ark, but I recently moved on to Final Fantasy and started rating either old content or new content. I didn't bring any of my Lost Ark friends, so I was doing this content from scratch without connections. I have some experience running a static in Lost Ark, but that didn't go well. I've learned from that experience, and I learned from joining another static and pick up some important skill from my experience there as well. So I would like to share my tips if you are thinking of making your own group or static. If you guys think this video is helpful or entertaining, please hit the subscribe button and like the video to make the number go up, because that's just how social media works. There's still a lot of Final Fantasy content that I would like to make, and seeing the number goes up helps me stay motivated. Thank you, and back to the video. Before you make your own static, I would like to say there are some upside and downside in being in static compared to the regular PF method. Let's start with the upside. When you are in a static, you have a guaranteed schedule or read time. Mostly. Some days people will be late or missing, but that's normal. And overall, you will not be stuck in lobby jail for hours and hours. And on top of that, you get to meet new people and make friends. You also not have to worry about the loot. Usually, a static will try to give everyone their best for the role that they play. So no more rolling dice if you're going to get the gear or not. And I think those are the main reason why people want to join a static. However, it's not all rose and glamour. Let me tell you the downside. While it is nice to have the same people on every run, it can also mean that you're a bit stuck with the group of people who you are going to run the content with. Which means if you have a member you don't get along with, or maybe one member is underperforming, well, it's a bit harder to find a replacement compared to when you're in PF where you can just leave and join another PF without feeling any remorse. Another downside is you guys probably hear it everywhere, the famous static drama. Either it being toxicity, relationship, or scam. I'm not saying that all static will have these. I believe that they are an outlier. However, if you're going the PF route, you don't have to worry about those. You're playing with random people. If you have a bad time, it's only going to last for that instance. So I believe those are points that you want to consider before joining a static or creating your own. Another advice that I would like to make is if you're planning to do current content, try not to do it on FC statics. People personality can clash, and it will be better to not make it bleed into the FC. If after hearing this you still want to make your own group, here are some of my tips. First thing that I would suggest to any future static leader is to set expectation before recruiting. This is the most important part and the most basic that sometimes people fail to do. How do you want your group to feel like? Do you prioritize being serious to clear the fight as soon as possible? Or do you want to just have fun and chill experience? And by serious, I'm not saying being so strict and not enjoying the fight. What I mean is when people messed up or if the group is not performing as expected, how do you deal with it? If it's a serious group, then expect some people to be more toxic. However, if you prioritize fun, chill experience, expect slower proc and be okay with it. How many days do you plan to rate a week? I've seen group running as a static in the range of 1 day a week or 5 days a week, with 5 days being static who wants to run newer content and clear a bit faster than normal. What are some limitations that you want in the group? For example, do you stream or record the run? Should people be aware of it? Is mic required for communication? Maybe you have a language limitation, like maybe you have to understand Spanish or French. Do you need to watch a guide or doing it blind with no spoiler? These are the few factors that you need to consider and be open about before posting recruitment. These expectations are what going to dictate how your group fight will be. This is something that I failed to convey on my first Lost Ark static that I created. I thought that I recruited good players and I don't have to worry about them. Oh yeah, they are good. I don't have to micromanage them. And oh boy, I was wrong. Because I didn't put down the ground rule and expectation, the group went all over the place. One person was late every time. When people messed up, some people were mad because they want a quick clear, and another is being too chill about it and thinking it's not a big deal. They also think that those people who want to quick clear to be toxic. I also have one person who got butthurt when someone jokingly asks who's not doing enough DPS in the DPS meter. And it's all my fault as a leader for not laying down the expectation properly, which then attract different expectations from different people. Once you think you have your expectation down, you should always write it down as a rule. Some rule needs to be black and white. For example, the normal being on time and always notify the group ahead of time if a member going to be late. But some rule can be gray or more like a guideline. For example, scheduling, goal, or how early does someone need to notify ahead of time. Rules can always be changed depending on how the group want to do stuff. Sorry for rambling a bit too much, but it is so important that I just want to point everything out. After you have your expectation, how do you start recruiting people? There are multiple ways of doing it. You can do it through PF, although I would suggest against it since there is a 192 letter limit, which is not enough to lay down all the details about the group. Instead, I would suggest to go join a public Discord for recruitment and post it there. There are multiple public Discord with recruitment channel, and there are a lot of people who post there for old or new content. Make sure to write down the rule and expectation that already come up, so there is no misunderstanding when people join. After 8 people join, you can start discussing about availability and role. Now, here are some tips on how to run your static. If you are using Discord, create a static role and assign it to your member. This will help organizing your group and help avoiding to use at everyone or pinging one by one. You can also create a fill role for the future when you need someone to fill the group. Then make sure to put PF 15 minutes and ping the static if you care about running it on time. This will help people to give buffer to start the game and log in 15 minutes. You can also ping in advance to remind people that they are raid today to make sure everyone is aware, because sometimes people forget, especially if it was your first day to raid together. My next tip is to remember that the group is not your group, but our group. What does it mean? Sometimes what your group wants will not align to what you want. And as a leader, you need to be selfless and prioritize what your group want. You can do this by asking people one-on-one or just make a poll on Discord. At the end of the day, to be a good leader is a thankless job. It is your job to deal with all the issue and manage the group, but you will also have to gauge to what people want and steer them there. An example from my experience is after we clear second calls normal, the original plan was to go to Savage after. But after I made the poll, the group wanted to do the final calls instead. I personally would like to jump to the Savage right away, but since the group wants to do final calls, we followed the group wish and leave Savage until the end. This helped to show that your group member have a voice, and it will hopefully make them more comfortable of talking openly. Next one is raid leader and shot caller are two different roles. If you think that there is a member in your group that is better at calling the mag than you can ask them if they want to be a shot caller, and sometimes you need to assign multiple people to call different mag if the fight is too chaotic. Hey Mara, I'll let you do the callouts.
Okay, Petri, look away.
If you like to get a tips on how to shot call, here are some of my tips. You need to be able to call the max ahead of time before it happens, so people have time to adjust and prepare instead of reacting. And in order to do that, you need to be able to memorize the timeline.
Get ready for clock movement.
Pop sprint.
Yep. Pop your sprint. If you don't think you can memorize everything, you can write it down on a piece of paper and stick it beside your monitor. This way you can make a quick glance and see what's coming next. Another tip is you need to be comfortable of raising your voice when you need everyone to listen to you. People will start talking random stuff during a poll, and that's normal. However, if you know really important mechanic is coming and it's a wave you fail it, you need to shout clear comms or hey, listen, to keep the run going.
I thought we were stacking because you didn't invuln.
Better. Focus. A bonus point if you can make a split-second decision during a pull to save a run. We're fine. I'll get Rolando. Just focus.
Get away.
Invuln.
Get away, none.
I would argue a good shot caller is way more important than a gold parser DPS. Having a good shot caller is also better than having a cackbot because he can adjust to the situation. I'm gonna die.
Alright.
I'm Benedict. I'm better than you.
You're a
Oh
god.
my god, let's go! For my last tip is everyone's opinion matter. Try to give opportunity to all members to voice their thoughts. He might not have the correct answer, in which case you can deny it, but you need to give the reason why it's not going to work. Only denying it will only discourage him to speak up in the future. I personally believe in at least trying it, so he knows that his opinion is being heard. Well, we're gonna try killing in the center. If we can't do it, then we'll have to adjust. How about that?
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna try it one time. Being a leader is not easy, and I applaud all static leader and try to respect them. And try to help them when you can as a member of static. And that's it. That's some of my tip on how to create and run your static. This is just a guideline that I use when I create my own static. I'm still quite new to raiding, but I firmly believe in this point. Let me know if you have any other points that I might be missing. You can also share your static experience in the comment if you like. My name is Vanassador. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video earned your subscription. Have fun.